Hello, good afternoon and welcome to another Superhero Spotlight session. And with me this afternoon is Matthias Horvath from Radar Payments. Matthias, how you doing?
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Really exciting to be here with you, Steve. And thanks for the stage for us. So yeah, let's quickly introduce myself that we can have a bit more discussion about together. So my name is Matthias Horvath. Actually, I'm a payment consultant within Radar Payments. Yeah, working in the payments industry now, I think over 10 years around in various different angles. Who is Radar Payments? Probably that's for the audience the most interesting thing, because actually Radar Payments is our brand in PPC for basically software as a service promoting of our payment platform. So what we are offering here, you can say, is a one-stop shop to help and support fintechs, banks, PSPs, and other financial institutions to have a go-to-market strategy, focusing on launching their propositions using our wide label services for issuing and acquiring. So that's in short and sweet what we are doing, actually.
Great, you've done half my job for me. Thank you.
Welcome. I tried.
So how do you differentiate as a business? What's different about Radar Payments?
Well, so basically, let me just name, I think, three areas what makes us a bit different to probably our competitors. So one, in fact, and I already mentioned before, that we are owned by BPC, is meaning that we are actually we are owning and developing the technology. We are providing as a service and the platform to our clients. We really focus to help financial institutions to differentiate themselves from others. And basically, our technology is quite highly configurable, meaning that we actually allow clients to really focus to create new customer experiences and not needed to discuss, the things about highly priced tags on customizations, etc. So we really give them the freedom of configuration in this particular case. Second, and I think that's also a quite crucial one for fintechs or financial institutions, in the scalability and the global reach, because basically with BPC we are nowadays having live implementations and global reach over 90 countries globally. So we can really say we understand local context, we understand the local needs and regulations, and being able, and that's quite important, I think, always in the scalability, to being able to bring this on the table to support financial institutions and have ready to use rails. So we actually have all these particular local payment networks plugged in already on the platform. And I think that's quite a crucial asset we bring. And last but not least, and I think that's also we see it in the European market always, we provide white label services, meaning we do not compete at any stage with our clients. What we want to do is we are in the back, empower our clients with the relevant technology so they can focus to provide great user experiences to their clients. And that's where we think these 3 points is the major key differentiators from our side.
Of course, that model, that approach to stand behind your clients and enable them to compete, is that really resonates with us. We like to back our customers. They're the bold ones. You mentioned that you're in 90 markets.
Well,
that's a huge amount of markets in this business to be present in. That's quite an achievement, isn't it?
Definitely, and I think we are quite proud about every market we are working in nowadays, and it brings a lot of light. I always say in the discussions with especially banks and fintechs, because we can bring normally innovation or innovative product services which are proven in another market already on the table. I think about let's say QR code based payments. In the European market probably not that big. However, in the Asian markets is a huge demand, and you can always bring exactly those things on the table and discussing needs which probably are not yet addressed in another market based on what we learned in the other 90 markets around.
So again, similar to us in your market in particular, you must have a very good view of what's happening and what's going on and the changes in the market. How do you see the industry evolving over the next couple of years?
Well, I think it's a quite good point, and I might say quite and short, definitely fast. And I think we saw it in the last couple of years, and especially I think since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, there was a huge transformation. The digitization, also in the payments industry, was really getting a boost actually, and a lot of new fintechs arise to address the various different pain points, etc. And I really think one of these key topics we took out about this and how the behaviors are changing is you as a payment company or providing payment services, you need to be actually agile, both actually to comply, I think, on the moving regulations, because we all know it will not stop with BSD2. BSD3 sounds horror, but I guess it's sooner than later, right?
Yeah.
I think we need to have this on it, and also to bring up and be agile to bring up new payment services. Because actually, and we see it nowadays, if you go from, nowadays we talk all about multi-currency, crypto, buy now, pay later options, tap to phone actually comes up more and more, or as I mentioned before, QR-based code payments. So meaning at the end of the day, customers needs the choice, so they need to have the choice with whatever payment method they want to pay in e-commerce on the brick and mortar, and you need to be able to support. And that brings me actually to one of the most crucial points nowadays, and I see it, and I guess, Steve, you know it even better than me because you also work on the partnership side, is you need to come up with strong partnerships nowadays, because you need to, and I say it always, like as an Austrian, we call it in German, Schuster bleibt bei deinen Leisten, meaning do where you are best in and focus on a great partner which can bring value to solve pain together and bring a perfect solution to your client's needs. And that's where I see a lot of change, and that's where I
Matthias,
really focus myself.
It's really interesting you mentioned that last bit actually, because my next guest later on this afternoon is Dieter from Elixir, and they're a professional services firm, and his topic is you can't out innovate the market, and the idea is you have to assemble a suite of partners and know the industry, know the ecosystem, and it's about collaborating to move forward. It's interesting. I mean, this part of the ecosystem, this part of the payments business has always been very, very collaborative, and I'm really interested to see where it goes and how it evolves. At the beginning of the pandemic, an open topic of discussion in the industry talking heads was that you've seen 10 years worth of digital adoption inside the space of 3 months. I have no idea what level of digital adoption we've had in the following 12 months in the entirety of the pandemic. But when you start putting in multipliers like the power of partnership, it's really interesting to see where this could go. I guess that moves me on to the next question I have for you. How do you think customer needs, well, how do you think customers themselves have changed and their needs, whether it's a consumer or a business customer? How have they changed over the last couple of years?
Well, actually, and I think the biggest change we saw in the last couple of months, I might say, basically, because it was really driven away from brick and mortar purchasements. We saw really huge demandings from one to another day. And it was, of course, one of the facts was the pandemic. However, there was another fact happening with one of the big financial technology providers in the European market area, that there was a lot of need on the e-commerce space. So bringing up quickly merchants on speed to provide their goods and services also online. And on the other hand, we saw a huge movement and also demand on the brick and mortar side for contactless payments. Like we all talked a lot about it. Yes, there is a lot of countries like UK or Poland or so on, or Czech Republic having a lot of point of sales, where everyone has contactless payment methods. However, in the last couple of months, you saw even the switch and shift that the persons, even elderlies, started to use their contactless payment cards or even their iPhones, etc., to do finally contactless payments, and everyone saw it really works, and you saw finally there was a switch in habit, and that is, I think, what really changed a lot, that the habits from customers changed, and also that clients go the way always to use, and I think that's quite an important one. Use the payment methods which provides them the best usability, because at the end of the day, when there stands on it MasterCard or Visa or their bank name or whatever, they have already the trust normally that this is gonna be trustworthy. So it means UX, so user experience is king, and that's where it might go also with when it comes to the likes of instant payments, which we're discussing nowadays in the European Union, or the EPI as a new nice payment alternative to MasterCard and Visa, etc., for the European market. So there is a lot of change. However, I think the biggest change was really that the people finally adopted to the contactless way of payments, and that they use a lot of online payments nowadays.
I agree that just anecdotally, the increase in adoption of contactless payments, I've seen, like the biometrics on smartphones. You know,
exactly.
Apple with the face recognition, or even the thumbprint recognition. You use your card, your debit card, contactless. You've got a limit on that, because that's easy to be stolen. But with the biometrics associated with a mobile device, it's had a double impact, isn't it? It's moved the contactless narrative forward, but with the biometrics associated with a mobile device, you can all of a sudden start making larger purchases or unlimited size purchases. There's no limit on a contactless payment with a mobile device, and most people have always got their phone immediately to hand. And I think people have just suddenly realised quite how convenient it is. It's interesting. Okay, so moving on. What do you think a key payment focus that financial institutions should be investing in going forward, with all the context of what we're saying here?
Good question, actually. Thanks a lot for this question, Steve. So, and I think I started already exactly in this way, how we position nowadays with Rada Payments, to providing really a platform as a service model and the software as a service model based on our payment capabilities to financial institutions, fintechs, traditional banks, and so on. And I think one of the key areas for investment nowadays, and we see it now coming up even in a lot of different RFPs and so on, not just from cool fintechs, but from traditional banks, is to move away from on-premise installations into payment as a service models, having commercially off-the-shelf solution which provides you out of the box usable capabilities to build on them your user experience. And this is, I think, one of the keys, because it drives, on one hand, it simplifies internally resources, it helps you to lower your TCO and focus on innovation and focus on time to market, meaning that you finally, also as a traditional bank, go back and say, okay, what is this fintechs actually doing? And they outplay them, to be honest, mostly with the time to market, because they set it up on cloud native solutions, focusing on what they want to do, is really making a great proposition, solving a problem perfectly, and let the tech guys like Currency Cloud and Rada Payments do their matching in the background, like I always say. And that's what I like in this particular way. We try always in this way to empower our clients and the banking clients to do their matching on the propositions for their clients, and we do our matching back to provide them scalable and great feature rich services on the payment rates.
Great, that's really interesting. So, look, Matthias, we're actually up against time, but there is one more question that I wanted to get to, and I know that you're really passionate about this. So, if we can address this quickly, maybe we can overrun a little bit. I don't think we'll get into too much trouble for that. But from a globe-trotting view of payments, I know this is something that you're really passionate about. The regional differences, the global differences of how payments works around the world.
Well, no,
what's your 60-second view on that?
Okay, well, it's really an amazing question, and seeing in more than 90 countries nowadays all the differences and all the different aspects, I might say one of the key problems nowadays to address is that in all those countries you have various networks, various national payment schemes, different ways how to approach people, a lot of regulations and all those things. And how we see this in Rada Payments, basically with our payment hub, and just make it quite short and sweet to answer it. We really think you need those kind of globetrotters like us in this particular way to bring the context to it, to be able to talk with you on the same regulative language, to bring you a platform which has all these relevant payment means and payment methods already enabled, being it alone or plugged in already to the relevant partners, to have really one partner who opens you the door to the world. Because what we see nowadays is really, that's one of the pains, that you have a lot of countries, a lot of regulations, and you need to plug into all of those players. And it would be great, and that's where we can really support clients to be this one guys, plug in, using currency cloud for particular services, helping on the multi-currency side and dynamic currency conversion, plug into others and so on. And that's actually where I see these things going. And it brings me to my final saying today from my side is it's all about partnering, and without great partnerships, you cannot address all these global aspects of the needs of the clients. And it's all about, and I think we might be on the same stage, it's all about the client needs.
Couldn't agree more. And thank you for that little last minute plug. Matthias, we're being ushered off stage now. How do people, this has been a great conversation, really enjoyed it, and time has flown by. We could probably have spoken another 20 minutes, I guess. But how do people get hold of you if they want to learn more about Radar Payments and what you're doing?
Well, so actually, easiest way to reach out to us is definitely via radapayments.com or directly via LinkedIn. You find us simply with Rada Payments. You also find me, Matthias Horvath, directly in LinkedIn. So happy if you just drop me a note, drop me just a LinkedIn message, and happy to follow up if you have any questions. I will also stay to, I see there is some comments, probably I can also answer if there is any questions. So please feel free, okay?
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Matthias, great talking to you.
Great, Steve. So thanks a lot for having me. Have a good day and have a good rest of this session. So bye-bye.
Bye-bye.